Hello and welcome to the CAD Camp for Everyone live streaming press conference. We're here with Noah Levine from Dentalcompare. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine, thanks.
Your background, you've been with DPR and with dental lab products as well. I bet you got a good dose of CAD Camp stuff while you were with the lab publication, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty well versed in what's been happening on the lab side of the industry, and it's exciting to see developments such as this pushing things further on the dental side.
Are you surprised at all that dentists seem to have been a little tentative up to this point to dip their toe into the CAD CAM waters?
I think that my experience with dentists has been that if they have a system that works, they're not always wanting to jump to something new until they really know it's going to be better, and they've been kind of cautious here. But from what I've seen both in dental labs and in practices who are using CAD CAM technology, time is about right to jump over and go digital.
It is about right, and that's part of what CAD CAM for everybody is all about. Rather than just having one system, and you need to figure out how you're going to make your practice fit into this, or try to identify the right doctors that are perfect for this system. Hopefully now, just about any dentist out there can look at the different combinations of intraoral scanning devices and mills and find something that's going to fit their budget, their workflow, the way they like to practice, and find something they can put in their office, improve the quality of their dentistry, improve the patient experience, and hopefully end up with a better restorative result. Well, you've had a chance to see a few of the offerings today. You have any questions about anything that you saw today?
Well, I guess, somewhat what you were just talking about, how is a practice going to really figure out which is the system that's going to be the best fit for them? Is it going to be just based on price point? Is it going to be on, some of the capabilities there? Or are these systems set up where they're going to have room to grow if they want to dip a toe into digital and then progress as they're ready?
Yeah, why don't I take that one, Mike?
That's a good one for you.
I mean, we're down here today for 2.5 days. We have our CEREC sales team here, and we're training them on the new types of equipment and technology that Sirona has. And when they go back to the field, they'll be able to sit down with the doctor and talk about the way that they practice and which piece of the CEREC family of equipment is best for that practice, and integrate that in the practice with them. And so over a course of time, we've always had an upgrade program along with Sirona that allows the doctor to evolve into what is right for their practice. So I think we're in a great position to have our reps go out and tell the story and be able to help the doctor understand which one fits me best. There's going to be a segment of the audience that's digital impression only. And then there's a segment that'll say, I want to do mills. And there'll be others that are going to be doing drill guides and implants. And there's another group that's going to want models. And so this menu we now have allows them to really take a look at where is it best for me and what is best for my practice. So we're excited about the opportunity. And we're going to have great people to tell the story in the field.
And I think it comes down to specific questions like how many crowns are you doing a month? How many implants do you restore a month and things like that. So you see a difference, between a doctor who does, say, 7 crowns a month and one who does, say, 35 crowns a month?
Absolutely. Yeah, they practice differently. The economics of the investment that they can make are different. So we want to be able to sit down with them and tell them what's best for it. I think the thing we lose sight of oftentimes, though, is it's not just the initial investment that's important, it's the ongoing training. So once somebody makes a purchase of the product, we then bring them to a 2-day training course where they spend time being taught by another clinician about how to use the product. And when we get them totally integrated, that's when we have a successful client. The last thing we want to do, or Sirona wants to do, is sell a product to somebody and have them not use it. We don't need it in the corner holding the lab coat. We need it in the office generating money and creating an experience for the patient that says, I like going to the dentist. This isn't a pain for me to be here.
Yeah, you can imagine a dentist investing in the most complex piece of technology they've ever had in their office, and it arrives at the office and they feel all alone, like they're sitting on an island. If they purchase it from somebody who doesn't have the support power of Patterson, you could see how that might terrify a dentist.
Yeah. Now, with all these options that are out there, do you feel that there is a CEREC system that could fit in any practice that is doing restorative dentistry?
Absolutely. Before Monday morning, I wouldn't have said that. I mean, we had one system, and we were trying to find a way to have that system work in most practices. And today, we literally have a solution for every practice that's out there. For the office that's doing 0 to 10 crowns a month, from the one that's doing 10 to 20, and the one that's doing 20 and beyond, and the price points and what they want to do with it. We have the greatest menu thanks to our partners at Sirona.
Yeah, if nothing else, just on a very basic level, the difference between a $79,000 price point and a $130,000 price point, that seems to be one of the issues where dentists would get stuck. It was so easy to look at that $130,000 price point as the only price point and attack that. And at least now there's a choice, so the dentist who wants to stick to single unit crowns for the most part can get in here and not have to pay for things that he feels he's not going to use. So at least they have a choice today, and there's a third choice in the middle to give them a further option.
Absolutely, and we really feel that by broadening our digital impressioning line that we meet the needs of the other, let's say 50% of dentists that may not want to do chairside dentistry but want to work with their labs. You can get into the Apollo DI for $399 a month, right? That's the normal financing rate, and most dentists are spending more than that just on their impression material. And so we think both from an affordability and function standpoint, there really is a product that fits virtually every dentist's need.
You know, when you're talking about the number of crowns, I think there's another factor to be involved. I think just as humans, we are afraid of change. And, you know, there are many dentists that do 30, 50 crowns a month that don't want to change it because they've got it rolling very well. And so that the new Apollo system, that'll fit into their system already. Whereas, you know, maybe the Blue Cam or the OmniCam, they felt like it was going to disrupt that. But now it's going to enhance what they're already doing, that's critical.
Yeah, that $399 a month has a nice sound to it. You know, $399 is not a huge investment per month, and if they find a lab like ours or another lab that gives $20 off, 20 impressions, and that pays for it, you know, without even taking that savings into consideration. So being in the lab, I appreciate that dentists have strong feelings and connections with their lab, and there are those dentists who just say, you know what? I don't want to make crowns. I just want to be able to prep a tooth and then go on to the next room and prep another tooth. And for them, that's where the digital impression units will probably
Mike,
play a
what
bigger
I like
role.
about all the different choices that you have is that you can start with that option and say, hey, I'm gonna start at that $399 a month, and then realize, hey, digital impressioning is not a big deal, and my buddy down the street is actually now designing the restoration, so now there's an upgrade path. Now you can go and say, listen, this was great for my practice, but now I'm ready for the next step, which might be the Blue Cam or the OmniCam, or getting one of the 3 different milling units that are available, and it's an easy transition because it's the same company, the same service, the same support, and it's a great path that you can choose from and say, I'm going to start here, but now I have the ability to go anywhere along that digital path that I want to, depending on how my practice is.
Yeah, it's a safe way to start.
Right.
Now, beyond just the new scanning systems that are out today, you guys also are launching new software and some new materials, new indications. So for the guys who are using this clinically, what was the most exciting development you're seeing with the 4.2 software and some of these new material options?
I think for me, the most exciting new development in the 4.2 software is the ability to do chair-side abutments. Now, when we talk about the cost of these impression systems, in the past it used to be, hey, it's $130,000, and if your lab fee is $200 a unit, and I'm doing 10 units a month, I'm spending $2,000 with a lab. Now I'm taking that $2,000 and paying for the system. So that was really the only math in terms of ROI. As lab costs have come down, well, how do you justify that? Well, most people are doing custom abutments. Most people are doing implant restorations, and those lab fees can be $300, $400, $500, $600, $700 per unit. And now with the 4.2 software, we have the ability to not only design a custom abutment, but mill it chairside, either screw retained or cement retained, and do that at a cost of $150 roughly, and do it in one visit. That, to me, I think is one of the most exciting features.
This is kind of higher thought dentistry stuff, but the thing that I like the most is the functional occlusion that we can do now. So it's always been a static bite, a CO position, and now we can actually watch the models move and in working and lateral protrusive, and we can see the interferences off the restoration. But that opens up a tremendous opportunity just with diagnostics. So somebody comes in and you scan in their upper jaw, their lower jaw, and you can actually see digitally their functional occlusion right there on the computer. We've never been able to do something like that. I think that's what's so exciting to me.
I think it'd be great if we could have maybe Adam and Darren kind of maybe show what abutments or some of the other features of the 4.2 software are like, because it's exciting.
So the chairside abutments, you can design your crown just like you normally would, and then you can either do a complete screw retain crown. And the new products that we've got out, you've got a pre-designed hole, so you don't have to try to create anything. It's all precision milled to fit a titanium base. It's all bonded together, and then you screw that in. If you need something that's a little bit more aesthetic, or you can't do a screw retain because of angulation, whatever the clinical situation is, we can split this and create an abutment.
Darren, would you zoom in on that model a little bit so that we can see? There we go.
Then we can create our abutment directly underneath our crown based on parameters that we've already set up. Then we can manipulate the abutment. If we need to change anything, we can change it with our tools just like we would our crown. Let's go over here to the virtual articulation like Todd was saying. Previously, if we were doing a situation like this and we tried to bring in our lower model, we could kind of see where things were lined up, but that was about it. We had to pretty much guess at how they were going to move and create interferences as they chewed. Now, with our articulator, we can have a functional dynamic bite, all the movements that they're in there, and then if we want to, we can take a look at
That's great.
the tooth, and we can actually have them designs mark where they're going to have interferences and remove them before we ever mill the restoration. That way, when we have some of our new materials that you can't necessarily try in, we can have them finalized, aesthetic, bonded into place. We don't have to worry about making alterations after we've put them in.
And with regards to material choices now, any of those restorations can be done out of lithium disilicate, Emax, full contour zirconia. There's some new reinforced materials that are coming out that are going to just give the average practitioner a lot of range of choices with regards to the materials that they can use.
Absolutely, and some higher strength ones to come too, which is going to bring a lot
Just
more
getting better
dentists
and
into the
better.
fold who really want some strong materials. We got time for one more question, Noah.
Well, and I guess this sort of goes back to this side of the table, but with this full range of products that you now have available and new materials, new software, what is it that really pushes the CEREC systems over the top? And if someone's going to look at digital, what is it that should make them say, I'm going to go with CEREC?
Well, we feel like CEREC has now and always has had the most comprehensive, the best portfolio of products in the market. We have 93% market share in chairside dentistry. We are the leader in digital impressioning. We have the best service and support with our partner at Patterson. We have the best training resources. We think that it's virtually a no-brainer that when you're ready to go digital, the CEREC is the right choice. What we think is interesting about today is now we think that there's the right choice for nearly everyone. So we think now's the time, and CEREC's the choice.
Yeah, CEREC was the right choice, but now it's the right choices. There's a variety of price points for them to pick and decide which of this fine product is going to be the best for their
Absolutely.
practice. So that's
Well put.
fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Noah. Appreciate
Thanks
you
for
having you
having
up here and getting the chance to spend some time with you. And that'll wrap it up here from the CAD Camp for Everybody live streaming press conference. On behalf of myself, Noah, and the panel, thank you for your time and your commitment to quality dentistry.